somebody are protected by the deportation ban in Uganda. And like I mentioned earlier, we have somebody joining us in studio now. He is a youth pastor who has struggled. Okay, not here the trouble from far, but he has struggled to come and join us. Pastor Juleva Dratibi Daniel. Have I said your name correctly? All of them are D.
Yeah.
He's a youth pastor of Massacre Pentecostal Church and has been in the youth ministry for the last 10 years. Oh, wow. How has it been? 10 years in the ministry,
Yeah.
pastoring young people. Don't you ever reach a point and you feel like you're a bit too old for them?
No,
You
I
stay
still
young.
feel young.
You're always pastoring
Yeah,
young people.
yeah.
Well, he's a teacher of the word and passionately ministering of healing and holistic transformation to both the rural and the urban settings. You were a high school teacher before you went into youth. Can you tell me a little bit about that transition? So, were you teaching math? Were you teaching chemistry? How you transition from being a high school teacher?
Well, I taught chemistry for 7 years, and then the call came, and of course I was like, should I not? And it was a tough decision to make, to fully come as a full-time master. And then it was really very big battle in my head, and I tried to dodge, I tried to give excuses, but finally I had to just surrender to God and say, well, here I am, use me.
Why the battle? What were your reservations? You know, because I thought when God comes and says, "Come here, Pastor," everyone just and says, "We go."
You know, pastoring is a tough job. It is really work, and it is one thing that needs a lot of faith, because you were at least end of month you are getting your salary, you are sure that I'm doing this and then I'm getting this, but then here you are coming to a place where you're going to be believing God for everything, trusting God, and sometimes still that thing comes, and then with also the kind of wind that has been blowing here and there, you see that really being a full-time pastor was really a very tough decision to make. Should I not? But I'm glad I did. After a very big battle, of course, in my head.
After God won. Now the reason we have Pastor, I know Pastor Daniel.
Yes.
The reason we have Pastor Daniel in studio today is because he recently wrote a book called Overcome Rejection: Turn Your Greatest Dreams into Reality. Is this your first book?
Yes.
So tell me about the process leading up to this book. What brought you to the writing of a book, especially on the subject of rejection?
Well, being a victim myself, I have seen it all when it comes to rejection in family settings, in my relationship, in a job of life. And then when I look at how God has been for me all this while, and then also with young people, and then seeing what is happening to them, the addictions, how they are handling it. Like, no, I think I have my experience, maybe I could use my own experience to inspire hope to these other, because many end up with the drugs, many have gone to side, many are living careless lives. So I was like, no, I think let me do something in a generation, in my own time. Let me try to see how best I can help. Because when you look at depression, for example, right now, it is on the rise. World Health Organization was saying that they just released this statistics on 30th of January this year, 2020, where they said 264 million people suffer depression worldwide, and around 800,000 people commit suicide every year. And that Uganda, as it is, looking through this period of COVID and even the things happening, when you hear young people burning themselves, when you hear people committing suicide, when you see people on the streets just because of rejection from either home, maybe from their place of work, maybe from their relationships, or in any of their journey of life. When I see them in that pain, yet I had the same pain. So no, I think I use my own experience. Since I have tried to overcome most of them, so I could also use the same to be able to inspire hope for other people to be able to walk the same journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the book is called Overcoming Rejection, Miha, with Pastor Daniel. If you're listening in from Masaka Pentecostal Church, send a shout out to your pastor.
Right.
Yeah.
But let's get into a very quick break, and when we return, we just want to be having a conversation about chapter 1 of his book. It tells a very interesting story,
Yeah.
and he will be sharing his comeback. Don't go anywhere.